with white advancing their pawn in the middle too far up the board is that the pawn actually gives the white king some shelter from some of the checks.
Pawn if you really want to, but yeah, check makes sense. And another check. Right now, I mean, I don't see any reason not to give a check. Okay, he doesn't go for the safest option. He goes for a pawn, but Magnus says, I'm going to give up that pawn. And okay, now it's a bit of a race. White's king going active, trying to support its passed pawn. So white taking some risk, but black can just bring his rook behind that pawn, I think. And black now will have his own trump card. His own pawn will start running as well. So still within the realms of a draw.
Yeah, definitely. And the black rook will now get behind the white pawn.
He'll delay it as long as possible. He'll happily give up his rook for white's pawn. And the black king and pawn together will march down the board. So, yep, when in doubt, give a check. Gukesh does that.
We actually had a draw like that, didn't we, David?
Yeah, long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Now, black just needs to keep checking. Okay, he doesn't do that. He doesn't need to do that. He pushes a pawn. And it's going to be too slow for white. White's going to push his pawn. Black's king's going to step forward now to support its pawn. And then black will just give up his rook. Happily. Yeah, right. Both pawns are going to cost the opponent their rooks. And we'll end up with king versus king in that one.
Ooh, Magnus trying to be sneaky here. He's inviting.
Actually, even rook takes rook would be a draw there, but you definitely don't want to allow your opponent to make a queen.
Do that one, well, no.
So Gukesh just keeping his rook for now, not getting distracted away from the white pawn. And yeah, I think we'll see a draw within the next minute or so.
Okay, here it comes.
Next 20 seconds or so.
Exactly. Rook takes, and now the pawn will start advancing. And just look, the white king is just helpless to...
It's off in Siberia somewhere.
Exactly, you know, and the action is happening on the right. And the white rook cannot fend off both the king and the pawn. So there you go. King versus king.
Oh, Gukesh.
What is that reaction about?
I think he's unhappy. I think he knew he had a big advantage.
Wow.
And, or maybe he's just shattered after such an exhausting game.
But it's an important point.